delightful, and oh so soothing. It's Sacramento Smooth Jazz.
Welcome back to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. Michael Andrews here. And as I mentioned, got a great interview going on. In fact, today we'll be talking with saxophonist Erisa Nicole. That's right. So I'm thrilled about this. She hails from the sunny city of San Diego here in California, and she's a soulful saxophonist. And of course, she captivates audience with her unique sound. And when we play her music, you're going to see you're going to hear how unique it is. It's really nice. And despite starting late in life, we'll talk about that, Erisa's talent shines as she blends soul and jazz, funk, and even R&B. Yeah. And with many live performances and acclaimed singles like Fresh, which is the latest out. And of course, she has notable collaborations, and we'll talk about that as well. She's making waves in the smooth jazz scene, of course. And that's what I want to talk to her about that, of course. Now, she shared the stage with the likes of Jazz and Pink and Elon Trotman, J.J. Sanseverino, Darrell Williams, Donald Hayes, Nathan East, Adam Hawley, my goodness, Come Function, and of course, gospel artists like Erisa Nicole, Dwayne Woods, even John P. Key, one of my favorites. Erisa is a formidable smooth jazz artist you don't want to miss. She has a BA in music, of course, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And she's working on her master's in music. So join me as we discuss her musical journey and her passion for music. Erisa, welcome to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much, Michael, for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited to be on your show.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We were going back and forth on communication because you're so busy. And I'm so glad that we were able to get you and, kind of corral you for a moment, because I know you're just doing your thing. So talk to me, your saxophone. I mean, how did it start with the saxophone? Is that your original instrument of choice? I know it says here that, we started kind of late. So did you start as a child and then stop, or how does it start? Saxophone?
Well, okay. So my dad, he is a musician. He plays organ as well as keyboard, and he started me off on piano. And so I learned, very early on the piano, but I didn't want to stop there. So I went on to play the clarinet. But that was pretty late in life. That was about maybe the 9th or 10th grade. And I got really bored with the clarinet. And so I begged my dad for a saxophone after I saw a female saxophonist by the name of Angela Christie. And he said, "No, I just bought you the clarinet." And I said, "Oh, Daddy, I promise I'll practice every single day. I promise." But by then, this was like my senior year in high school. And so it was really late. And he did. He gave in. He bought it for me. And I guess you can say the rest is history. But yeah, I did get a pretty late start with it. But it's okay. I'm now trying to play catch up, I guess you can say, and trying to catch up to all of where my peers are, because there's so many amazing, amazing artists out there.
Well, listening to your music, I tell you, you're doing very well. You're doing very well. But I got to go back and say, Dad caved, and that's what we typically do with our daughters. Mm-hmm. We do that. I have a daughter as well, so I understand. Now, you said your dad plays organ, so as the organ, I'm thinking church. Talk to me.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. So we got
Yeah, my dad. So he's actually a pastor, and so a lot of pastors also play for themselves,
right?
When they're singing or whatever. So he, of course, I'm a pastor's kid. We have a large family. There's 5 of us, and so I'm the youngest. And my dad would often allow me to play at church, and I did. I started playing at church for praise and worship, and kind of developed a lot of my musical talents there right in the church. And so a lot of my sound is more so on the gospel / soul side of things versus the more smooth jazz sound. So I often hear, I should say, "You have a very different sound." And I guess I can attribute that to all the years that I played in church.
Nice. And you have that unique ability to blend it all in together. Doesn't matter what genre really you're focused on, but that I've heard you play, and it's really fascinating. And in fact, what we're going to do is towards the end, we'll introduce people to your latest, and we'll talk a bit more about that. So as you began playing the saxophone, you take the lessons and things of that nature, you found yourself just, getting more in love with that. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. One thing that I guess even as a child, I always used music kind of as my therapy in a sense. And not that I was like an abuse kid. One person said, were you like an abuse kid? No, but I always used it. It was just like my happy place. I could always, play the piano and just sit there for hours and hours and hours and just go into a totally different atmosphere and environment. And I would forget that I'm even, at home with my brothers and sisters, because there's 5 of us. So there was a lot of noise and a lot of activity going on in my house every single day. But I would just sit there and zone out. And so playing the saxophone, it was the same thing. Like there's this like fire that I have inside of me that every time I play, I have to allow others to feel this fire, this passion that's burning inside of me. So that's really why I'm so passionate. I guess they say you're so passionate when you play. That's why. There's something that God gave me that I'm grateful that he gave it to me, because I cannot let it go. It's something that I'll keep going until I guess I can't do it anymore.
You are stirring up the gift that he's given you. You know what I mean? So that's a blessing on itself when someone takes advantage, or I should say, takes hold of a gift and a passion and run with it. And you're definitely doing that. So as we fast forward, for you taking those lessons and going back into that, I would say the happy place. Because I tell people on the show, music can be therapy, and therapy can be music. And so a lot of people, they find their happy place in music, and various genres, obviously, but with your play and your experience blending all the different types of genres, I can see why people will say it's different, but it's refreshing and it's fresh.
That was a good one.
And for those who just tuned in, I'm speaking with saxophonist Erisa Nicole, and Fresh happens to be the title of her latest track. And we'll talk about that, because I also noticed that you did a Christmas song. And I know we're not in the Christmas season, but I want to let people know what's going on with you, that, hey, it's not just the various genres. It's also, you did a Christmas song, and
I did.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So. Oh,
nice. I know. I love Christmas. That's my favorite. That's my absolute favorite holiday. And I'm actually going to put out another Christmas song this year. And so it's, I'm trying to like push out things a little bit faster this year, because I hadn't in the past. I'm like, wait a second, I have too much to say, and I want people to hear what what my music is, and I want it to be delivered. And so, I'll be putting out a Christmas song in November, actually, the day after Thanksgiving.
All right. See, thank you for answering one of my questions, because I was leading into that. Can we expect another Christmas song this year? And you've answered that. Yes. So thank you. Yes. Now, when it comes to your writing, where's your inspiration on that?
Well, I can really honestly, that goes back to my days of playing in the church.
Okay.
Since I play the piano and I also play the organ as well. I can just sit down and just hum something in my head, and I'll kind of write to it. The last 2 singles that I had, they were not written by myself. At least the first one wasn't, but the second one, the melody, was written by myself and my husband. And so there's so many melodic lines and ideas that I have. I honestly just now I'm thinking that I can probably start writing it and then allowing somebody to just put some music to it, because I have a lot to say. So the next song that you hear that will be released actually next month, there's another one. There's another song. That song was it was all written by me.
Nice. Now, speaking of your after the Christmas song, you had Good Feeling, and so what was the inspiration behind that?
So that was a very start, I guess you can say, in a sense, only because I really didn't have much. And anytime someone asked me, "Hey, do you have anything to play so we can hear your music?" And I said, "No." So I reached out, and that song was produced by Judah Seeley. And after I heard the sample of it, I said, "Oh, that's the song. I need that song," because it had a good vibe. It had kind of like this Michael Jackson flair on it. I guess like Michael Jackson meets smooth jazz. At least is the way that I kind of thought of it when I first heard it. And so we put out that song. That was kind of the I guess, debut for me. And from there, we went to Fresh. And yeah, I'm not stopping there, though. There's so much more, even after Fresh. And so that's why I'm really excited for this next song, because the person who we collaborated with, oh boy, he's really getting himself out there. And I'm super excited about just the song itself. So yeah, I won't say too much about it, but I'm just super excited about it.
Well, you have me on pins and needles right now, because I'm already looking forward to playing it. I'm enjoying playing Fresh. And it's when I first saw this, I looked at the cover and I'm like, wow, this is a very vibrant color, a very fresh indeed. So what was the inspiration behind the bright colors? What's going on?
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a very visual person, and I love bright colors. But the very first thing I thought of, because I feel like the cover art and the graphics have to match the song, right?
Yeah.
So I said, what would really make this song feel fresh? Of course, vibrant colors. But I took it a step further. I was like, oh, I got it. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I tried to the inspiration really came from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And more recently, the show Bel-Air. I love that show. But I was watching it one day. I was like, oh my goodness, that's the inspiration. That's the direction I'm going to go in. And so that's why it kind of looks like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
I don't know, sense.
Okay.
But yes, that's where it came from.
And so with that particular, so now I understand. So thank you for giving us the insight as to the cover. Now with the song, what's the inspiration behind the song?
Well, when I approached Adam, and we were starting to try to get everything together, I said, I want something upbeat. I need something upbeat because I want it to match my personality on stage. My personality on stage, especially with upbeat songs, I'm all over the place, to be honest. And so he said, okay, I got you. I said, I need something that's at least 120 BPMs, and I need it to allow me to rock out. He's like, got you. And from there, that's what we developed. We developed that song. He said, here's kind of like a little bit of an introduction, but I want you to take it from here. So my husband and I, we sat down, we wrote everything out together. And yeah, I guess the rest is history.
Now, when you said Adam, you're speaking of Adam Hawley. So our listeners will know.
I'm sorry, Adam Hawley. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And don't get me wrong, Adam also wrote some of that as well. So I don't want to leave him out at all, because he's amazing producer, guitarist. What is he? He's a professor. He's so many things.
We call him Dr. Holly.
Yes.
Indeed. I can see him saying to you, no problem. When you say, no problem,
yes.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, speaking of fresh, let's just do something real quick here and we'll come back. Let's let our listeners, we're speaking with Erisa Nicole, saxophonist Erisa Nicole, and I want to introduce Fresh. In fact, why don't you introduce it for our listeners, and we'll be coming right back after the song.
Hey everybody, it's saxophonist Erisa Nicole, and you are about to listen to Fresh, so get ready.
welcome back. And that's fresh, Erisa. That's fresh. And
thank you.
so thank you for introducing that, and thank you for, sharing that with us. And I'll tell you, that's a wonderful track. It's a wonderful track indeed. You indicated you're coming out with some new tracks before the end of the year, and
yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to. My listeners already know. I want access. I'm trying
of course. I will definitely. You don't even have to worry.
All right. Awesome. So folks, you heard it. We're going to hold our feet to the fire on this. So we want our listeners to hear it, and they're looking forward to it as well. Now, with respect to how do you balance, you mentioned your husband. How do you balance, marriage? Do you have kids?
I do. That's a very good question, because I really need to just take one day and from start to finish and show everyone what happens in one day. Because a lot of people think I just play saxophone. That is by far not the case. I wish it was, and hopefully and prayerfully one day it will be the case. But until then, no, we have a lot and we juggle a lot. We both actually have 9-to-5 jobs on top of my husband. He's a graphic designer, video editor, and he does a lot, and photographer. So he does a lot on his end as well. We have 3 kids. They are all involved in sports. And so it's a lot.
All involved in sports. Oh my goodness.
Yes, they are. And so it becomes a bit chaotic at times, but it's organized chaos. And we take it just one step in 1 minute and 1 moment, and with a lot of prayer and a lot of patience, we get through it.
Wow. Now, I believe that will allow our listeners to really appreciate your music even more so, because of the work-life balance, and you're saying, hey, it takes prayer to put this all in perspective and keep it manageable.
Yes, for sure.
And so you're doing that's great. So how long have you guys been married now?
We've been married for 15 years. So
nice.
A long time. Yes, we got married very young. I had our child very young as well. And so at this point, it's like, okay, you would think that we have it. Like, it's like clockwork. Every day is a different day.
Right.
And every day presents a new set of challenges. But like I said, with God and with prayer, we figure it out. We figured it out.
Well, it sounds like you guys are doing a very good job. So I want to give shout outs and high fives to Sam, your husband, Sam. Sam, we appreciate you here at Sacramento Smooth Jazz for allowing for her to have some balance and do everything you guys are doing. So that's amazing. So now I understand that you're going to be in the Sacramento area real soon. Talk to me about that. Our listeners want to know what's going on.
Yes, I am. So on June 3rd and June 4th, I'll be in the Sacramento area. More specifically, I believe it's Stockton. And so I will be there for a conference, and it's for the Raising Youth Resilience Conference. And I do not have the address. However, if you follow me on social media, Erisa Nicole, pretty much everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, or go to my website, erisanicole.com, and I'll tell you how to spell Erisa, because oftentimes people think it's spelled Arisa, but it's just like Erica without the K, put an S, and there's Erisa Nicole. So I'll put all the information on my website. You can go there, and if you are in the area, please come by. I would love to see you. We'll have a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Wow, you've saved me from asking some questions. I love it when people do that. You telling people exactly where to go, how to find you. So you heard it, folks. Saxophonist Erisa Nicole giving you all the information on how to reach her. So Instagram, Facebook, all that. Her website, Erisa Nicole.
Yes.
And there you go, right there. I appreciate you spending some time with me today. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you for having me, and to all the listeners, thank you for supporting Sacramento Smooth Jazz. Thank you for even having the platform, because as you know, Smooth Jazz, we need to push it further and further and further. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. My pleasure indeed. Tell Sam we said thank you again. Many blessings to you and your family, and we'll see you real soon. Sounds good. Well, take care. All right now. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. To continue listening to Smooth Jazz 24/7, follow Sax Smooth Jazz on social media and listen by going to saxsmoothjazz.fm.